Now available on video and DVD.
Hi everybody, I'm Tom Snyder and welcome to the Lionel Train's 100th anniversary. Let's go back to the beginning, to a loft at 24 Murray Street.
The growth of the company, the great job that Joshua Lionel Cowan did starting in 1900, the development of the Lionel trains, the hobby, the marketing, the promotion of it. He was a master at all of that. He was a great innovator. I think Lionel has always been an innovator down through the years. They've done some great stuff.
It's still such a mystery how that old Lionel brings out the kid in me. My Lionel train, my Lionel train. My Lionel train, my Lionel train. One day, many years ago, I remember my first toy train. I opened up the box so carefully, and I knew Lionel was staring up at me. My Lionel train, my Lionel train. Yeah. My Lionel train, my Lionel train.
New Lionel DVD boxed set collection. Wall-to-wall Lionel action at huge savings. From TM, the leader in toy train video production. The Magic of Lionel, now available in a 4-DVD special edition boxed set. 20 layouts, interviews, tips, stories, and fun. Order now. Lionel Action 4-DVD boxed set includes Lionel accessories, parts 1 and 2. See pre-war, post-war, and modern era operating accessories, all in action, along with tips on installation, boxes, and rare variations. Lionel 00 and HO, a fascinating study of 2 gauges which played important roles in Lionel's history. The history of Lionel traces Lionel from 1900 to the remaking of the fabulous scale Hudson in 1990. Pre-war and post-war legends, interviews with former Lionel owner Richard Kuhn. 4-DVD boxed set. Order now. Lionel the Movie, a delightful mix of great train action, music, and fun, plus vintage Lionel films and commercials. 3-DVD boxed set. Order now. These impressive boxed sets are guaranteed to thrill and delight both the experienced enthusiast and the novice.
I love Toy Trains, one of the most popular children's series in the country. See Toy Trains, Real Trains, Funny Toy Train bloopers, oh, no. And the music of award-winning singer-songwriter James Coffey. 12 shows on 4 90-minute DVDs, plus the final show, a 45-minute special, and oh no, wall-to-wall laughs and fun. 14 shows, all on 6 DVDs. Awards include the prestigious Parents' Choice. For more information, call 800-892-2822 or visit us on the web at tmbv.com.
It's a wonderful kind of feeling. That's the reason I love toy trains.
What do Frank Sinatra, Tom Snyder, and Mandy Patinkin have in common? They are all featured in TM's new Celebrity Train Layout series.
We have the bumper cars there, and the Flying Bobs, and the Gravitron.
Every Christmas we got something new. The Bascule Bridge, the log loader, the 397 coal loader.
And now, our feature presentation.
Trains. Big, small, either the size of your hand or the size of 4 buses. They are built around the entirety of building America to the society that it is today. And with toy trains, it makes it even better by creating several different generations and traditions with model railroading. It has brought a whole new generation of audience throughout the years, starting from the early 1700s all the way up to today with some of the finest scale detail, command control, rail sounds, and above all, realism. And that's why this channel exists, to show off my appreciation and fascination with these very fine relics of human history that have been well preserved throughout the times that they have been originally introduced as a 3-rail O-gauge electric train from the 1900s and very late 1800s to all the way up to 2025, where we get the greatest highly detailed engines that would have never been possible to see 100 years ago. And it doesn't matter what trains you want to get yourself hooked into. Each one has their own special quirks and abilities that stands out among the crowd of the Hot Wheels, Craftmaster sort of fans. So climb aboard as we go through, once again, the magic of Lionel, the movie 3. This is a Lionel conventional semi-scale Polar Express Berkshire. And this Berkshire is conventional by only being controlled by a transformer instead of like your handheld remote. This engine has special rail sounds to give you the authenticity of you actually being on a ride with the Polar Express. The movie follows a young kid living in a neighborhood and has a crazy dream, like a really realistic dream, about traveling to the North Pole on a magic, mysterious flying train, and learning about the true meaning of Christmas, as well as meeting a lot of good friends along the journey. This engine was built by Lionel in early 2000s shortly after the movie came out. And it is when that this engine is given a very realistic design that follows the movie as well as the book.
Oh no!
1580 here, requesting departure clearance. Over. Chesapeake in Ohio, 1580. You are cleared outbound. Take 3. Over. This is Chesapeake in Ohio, 1580. Thank you. We are good to go. Over.
America was booming and thriving right just after World War II, and railroads were booming with profits as well. Thus, they started experimenting by building bigger and better steam engines to increase their pulling power and traction. In 1923, the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad had debuted their H7 steam locomotive, but served an interesting operation. Its only purpose was being used as a yard switcher, which makes its stature very large with its 2882 wheel configuration. Its length was a whopping 104 feet long, weighing over 567,000 pounds, and can carry up to 54 tons of tractive effort. Locomotives with 2 sets of drivers are called articulated. But the C&O wasn't the only railroad to develop a articulated steam engine. The Southern Pacific also had released their big steam engine, being the mighty AC-12, being mainly used for heavy freight service to compete with the ever-growing Union Pacific Railroad. What makes it more interesting is that the rear of the engine was technically used as the front, with the cab and the front of the boiler being replaced to not only increase traction, but also give the crew much more visibility. And with its massive size comparing to the H7 that the C&O released, it can also pull a massive amount of rolling stock if needed. It is making some very good competition with length compared to the Union Pacific's Big Boy and Challenger steam locomotives.
Oh, no.
Minus 120.
Status check. Command on internal.
Affirmative.
Telemetry and launch condition.
Affirmative.
Missile and internal DC.
Affirmative.
Pressurization complete.
Affirmative.
T-minus 60 seconds and counting. Status check. Range safety arm light on.
Affirmative.
Range ready.
Ready.
Water system ready.
Affirmative.
I have a prep complete light. Locks tanking secured.
Box tanking secured.
9, 8,
Ignition. Water full flow.
main stage. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
no!
Everyone loves running their trains on the layout, but what about driving a truck on track? Well, that's why we have motorized units, and some of them come in really small packages. Here's a few of them. Here's a Lionel blue truck, and it comes with a bed to put your own little cargo inside. Next is a motorized hijacker car. With the flip of a switch, you could be able to activate the features such as tires being pushed out of the car. Next is a standard trolley made by MTH. With an operating pantograph, you'd be able to add lots of realism with a small package to your collection. Wow, and look at it go! Here is a operating hand car. Oh no, it's starting to run away! Watch out, train! This is a Lionel-themed military train set from the early 2000s. It is based off of a post-war design that was made dating back to the mid to late 1960s. This engine comes with an operating engine that you'd be able to throw missiles out of, a Sounds Army car, 2 missile cars, a bunker car, a firefighter car, which turns around as the car is in motion, as well as a caboose that can be able to have a machine gun on it, as well as a searchlight for oncoming planes. This is the general here. We got word that we have 2 military cars that need to be exploded pronto. We gotta get ready for that. Prime the missiles. We gotta get ready to fire. Target is in range. With the press of a button on the Trainmaster command control remote, you could be able to shoot out the rockets from the engine. Target has been destroyed. Move out quickly! This is your local McDonald's restaurant. It was made by MTH. First, we gotta drive up to the window to order our food.
Thanks for choosing McDonald's. May I help you? Yes, I'd like to have a double cheeseburger meal with an iced tea and...
Mommy, I want a Happy Meal.
And a cheeseburger Happy Meal with an orange drink. Will that be all for today? Yes. Your total is $5.44. Please pull around to the first window.
Now I gotta go drive to the other window to pick it up.
Total is $5.44. Here you go. Thank you and come again.
and we're ready to move out. Here you go, Timmy. Here's your fries and your Happy Meal. Hopefully you joined us on our trip to this restaurant. Hope you're not hungry anymore. Hey Timmy, where's your small fries? Everyone loves seeing a big steam engine in action. Its puffing smoke, massive drive wheels, and its pistons on the chest, and of course the sound of its howling whistle. All that comes to a very good package, which I feel is better than a diesel engine. And nothing says that better than a Hudson. Famous for being made from the 30s from Lionel, this engine has been made for several times and now has its several reissue that's coming up today. This model was made from the late 80s and early 90s by Richard Kuhn, who recently just purchased the Lionel Corporation. This engine is very heavy, with all of its weight being on the middle drive wheel. But what makes that Hudson better, you say? As making it streamlined, and it was moved that done in the early 1930s to attract more people back to the railroads. How do you make a streamlined engine? You take a regular steam engine, fasten the sides with metal sheets, and then you want to put that over the original body. Wow, now the engine looks like a medieval weapon that was used in battle from the future, or maybe some like weird bathtub shape, who knows. But it gets even better. As of December 21st of 1995, this engine was presented to a famous TV host who loved Lionel trains.
Hey Tom Snyder, would you like to be a rider on a Lionel train with me? Hey Tom Snyder, would you like to be a rider traveling around that Christmas tree? Streaking across that countryside, all aboard everybody for a thrilling ride. Be on time for a front row seat. I get ready for fun that can't be beat. Hey Tom Snyder, you're not dreaming. You're a rider on a Lionel train tonight. Tom becomes a little boy when he sees a choo-choo toy. Trains are tops with Tom. I press a button and whistles blow. I push that lever and watch 'em go. Hey Tom Snyder, ain't it great to be a rider on a Lionel train tonight?
As of now, Lionel has made over 30 different Hudsons. but we have reached the peak of pinnacle train collecting. As of in the early 2000s, when the company was celebrating its centennial anniversary, they have released the biggest and best engine that the company has ever made to rival their 700E. This is NWR, random news station in New York. Big news in toy trains. Lionel, one of the bigger competitors of making toy trains, has just announced their 100th anniversary engine. And wow, is this spectacular. Being based off of their famous New York Central Hudson that was made in the 30s. And now it is plated with real gold. Whoa, that is so crazy.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Hey Steve, show us how your new electronic controller works. It's fine, it'll take some time for you to get used to it. Lionel 164 log loader. Take one. Action. Cut. 381E passing at 400E. Take one. Action. That's fine. Keep going. Keep going. can someone get that lamppost moved, please?
Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? When I was just a boy, living by the track, us kids would gather up the coal in a big old gunny sack. Then we heard the warning sound as the train pulled into view. The engineer would smile and wave as she went rolling through. It blew so loud and clear, we had to cover up our ears. And we counted cars just as high as we could go. I can almost hear the steam and the big old driver scream, with a sound my little boy will never know. Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? I guess the times have changed. Kids are different now. Some don't even seem to know that milk comes from a cow. My little boy can tell the names of all the baseball stars. I remember how he memorized the names on railroad cars. The Wabash and the TP, Lackawanna and the IC, yeah, the nickel plate, the good old Santa Fe. Just names out of the past, I guess they're fading fast. Every time I hear my little boy say, Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? We climbed into the car, drove down into town, right up to the depot house, but no one was around. We searched the yard together for something I could show, but I knew there hadn't been a train for a dozen years or so. All the things I did when I was just a kid, how far away those old memories appear. I guess it's plain to see they still mean a lot to me, because my ambition was to be an engineer. Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train?
Everybody loves trains from Lionel, especially the most iconic poster models that started from 1945 and ended to 1969. But a lot of people wanted to get them, but they did not have quite the budget. And that's how we got a more upgraded and high-definition remaster and reimagining of the Lionel post-war engines and freight sets from the past, brought back to the early 2010s with the modern technology that they were offering at the time. So what am I talking about? This is the Lionel post-war celebration series that started in 1999 and led to 2011 by reproducing many of great Lionel post-war sets that harken back to the golden days of railroading in America. These engines also had featured operating headlights, backup light, as well as an operating knuckle coupler. And a lot of these reimaginings of these sets all had either newly tooled or old or retoolings of the original models, upgraded with Trainmaster Command Control, Rail Sounds 5, and of course, the ever so popular design of the Command Control system. You may have seen a lot of these sets before, actually. Some of the most iconic engines, of course, in this set was the famous Lionel 773 Hudson, the 2343 F3 passenger sets, FM Trainmaster sets, Berkshires, J-Class, and as well as some few other engines. This is the Trainmaster set that was headed by the 2343, I believe, Virginian FM Trainmaster, by featuring a 6464 style boxcar, an autoloader car, a lighted livestock car, a generator car, flat car with a boat, as well as a SP caboose that has smoke.
Virginia 2331, take the green.
Aesthetically, this is a complete one-to-one match of the post-war model that this is imitating, but has the full capabilities and technologies on the inside to make it appear to have conventional control. But these engines have a very big advantage over their post-war counterparts by having Trainmaster command control system involved. This next set is another very big, memorable classic, as being listed and advertised for Lionel's new Super O track back in the post-war period, which is this J-Class space set that is inspiring. This engine is a complete reimagining and ground up, I believe possibly oldly tooled model from the post-war period, but given the upgrade in phonetics of rail sounds and command control as well. And while these engines really do give aesthetically a very good run for your money, as being almost one-to-one with their post-war counterparts, just with some extra features added.
746 here. Am I clear to pull? Over. Norfolk and Western 746, you may depart. Over. About to head to the outbound line. Over.
In this specific set, this engine is hauling a flat car with a rocket with it, a radio-controlled car, a firing missile car, a exploding box car or target car, a launching helicopter car, as well as a SP radio-equipped type caboose. Now for practicing our target range, we gotta use the missile firing car to shoot at the explosive target car. Ready? Fire! By hitting the trigger on the firing car itself, it will slowly launch the missile into the air. These post-war sets bring back a lot of homage and recognition to the greatest generation or the greatest era that the company has ever gone through, and sadly has not been able to recline since the end of 2011. But this is still a very, very good collection of trains that they have released to harken back those old post-war days, but with a very, very cheaper price tag to them. Lights, color, action, and sound. It is what the main principal concepts of what makes model trains, and what the latest technology is being offered in some of the biggest corporations. And toy trains have surpassed a wildest leap towards realism and equipment that has never been thought of before in the history of making trains. Lionel's first sound system, introduced in the early 1920s, was a chuff sound effect that implemented a chuffing sound while only steam engines were in motion. I mean, it kind of sounded like it, but it was a little touchy. In 1935, the most iconic sound set was ever introduced, the steam whistle. The original promotion describes a new innovation greater than the first person who went to space. Although we didn't get a chuff sound effect, the replacement of a realistic air whistle was nice. But when Lionel went out of business and bought out by General Mills in 1970, they have envisioned creating a new sound system to be featured in their cheaper starter sets that were enticing to both the collector and their child. With a new circuit board design, this made the engine sound more realistic with having steam chuffs and a whistle at the same time. But as 1987 rolled along, Richard Kuhn then bought the brand from General Mills and now created a new sound system called rail sounds, which are now digitally recorded rail sounds from real trains to give it much more realism and immersion to the design. With the new design in chuffing mechanisms and circuit boards, we now have come to the greatest evolution of the rail sounds too, which gave the engines more immersion to the railroader. With the new design in chuffing mechanisms and circuit boards, we now have come to the greatest evolution of the rail sounds too, which gave the engines more immersion to the railroader. But in my opinion, where the greatest sound system has been introduced, even upping the antics from Rail Sounds 2, which was Rail Sounds 3, which was introduced in 2002, which gave even more realism as well as new features added to not just steam engines, but as diesels as well. So now each sound system was more readily unique, leading up to the culmination of legacy rail sounds in the late 2000s and early 2010s.
Lionel 1580 here, requesting departure clearance, sir. Over. Cino 1580, you are all clear ahead. You may proceed. Over. This is Chesapeake, Ohio 1580. 10-4. Understood. We are good to go. Over. This is Cino 1580. We have departed.
So we have came a long way from the earliest chuffing design that sounded like a doorbell to what we have now with the release of Rail Sounds 5, or some people call Rail Sound 6, being legacy Rail Sounds. The newest, highest form of detail that has been put on any sort of trains that have the newest sound systems are now generally created to be and widely received as the most anticipated sound sets and trains that not just Lionel, but every brand has ever created since the dawn of these new sound systems.
Oh no!